Good. This is a formative exercise 7.2. Can you read this formative exercise 7.2?
A gardener wants to plant hibiscus and roses on his plot of land of 30 meters square. He has at least Rm 1000 to buy the plants. A hibiscus plant costs Rm 4 and it requires a land of 0.4 meters square, while a rose costs Rm 5 and it requires a land of 0.3 meters square. The number of roses must exceed the number of hibiscus by at most 200. Other than x larger or equal to 0 and y larger or equal to 0, write three inequalities to satisfy all the above constraints. If x represents the number of hibiscus plants and y represents the number of rose plants, using a scale of 2 cm to 100 trees on the x-axis and the y-axis, draw and label the region y that satisfies all the inequalities in A. From the graph obtained in B, answer each of the following question. Find the maximum number of rose plants if the number of hibiscus plants is 300. Within a given period, each hibiscus and roses plant generates a profit of 3.50 and 2.40 respectively. Find the maximum profit of the gardener.
Okay, right. So now every question they have two types. From this question, can you identify the two types of things they want? So the first column here, the heading is type. Type of what? Type of flowers I can identify. So the type of flowers, they are hibiscus and roses. Then the next two, they don't have to tell you, it's always there. The total and the maximum or minimum. Next column. Next column also they don't have to tell you. It is always number. It is always number. Okay. So number, hibiscus number. Hibiscus number means the number of hibiscus plant. And it is called X. Okay. Then next one, rose number. Okay. It is the number of rose plant. And the total number of plants here, no need to tell. You must know X plus Y. Now the next three columns, then this one you have to think. What are the factors affecting this hibiscus and rose? Okay, so the factors they are, read through the question is, I think the land and the cost. The land 0.4, 0.3, the land. And the cost is 4 ringgit and 5 ringgit. So I'm going to show this. So the first factor is the land, right? One hibiscus plant use how much land? One hibiscus plant use 0.4 meters. But I don't have one plant. I have X number of hibiscus plant. So it will be 0.4 times X. One rose use how much land? 0.3. There is one rose. I have Y number of rose plant. So it will be 0.3 times Y. The total land used up is how much? 0.4x plus 0.3y. What is the constraint? The constraint is the land. We have only 300 meters. So we have only 300 square meters of land. The next factor is the cost of the plant, the baby plant, the seedlings. So the cost of the baby plant or seedlings for hibiscus, one hibiscus costs 4 ringgit. I have X hibiscus, so it will be 4x ringgit. One rose, 3 ringgit. I have Y rose, so it will be 5 ringgit. So it will be 5Y ringgit. The total cost is 4x plus 5y. What is the constraint on this cost? 1000 ringgit. He has at least 1000 ringgit. So he must have more than 1000 ringgit. That is the constraint. Okay. Here not less than 1000. No? The 1000 here means more than 1000. And the last factor is the Profit. Is it profit? Yes, profit. The last factor is profit. One plant can bring me 3 ringgit 50 cent profit. So X plant will be 3.5 times X. One rose, 2 ringgit 40 cents. X rose, 2.4 times X. The total profit is 3.5x plus 2.4y. Okay. So again, we use the constraint to construct. Before we use the constraint, you must change it to y equals to mx plus c. Right? Now to change, first one, 0.4x plus 0.3y less than 300. 0.4x plus 0.3y less than 300. Now, before I go on, when you construct the constraint, when you make the inequality, you make sure that the unit is consistent, like your physics like that. Make sure the units, they are consistent. Now here 0.4 hectare, 0.3, sorry, meter, not hectare. So if it's meter, then this one must be in meter. The 300 must be in meter, all this in meter. Let's say if in another question they say acres, then it's not acre. If they say the land is in hectare, then the last one also in hectare. You don't go and compare different units, then it will be all wrong. Right? So make sure the unit for the total and the unit for the constraint, they are consistent. Consistent means they have the same units. So that's why here I have 0.4, 0.3, and 300. Right? So now I simplify the equation. This one, you know how to simplify. So the gradient is negative 4 over 3. Y-intercept 1000. Where the y-intercept come from? Come from here, 1000. X-intercept 750. How to get the x-intercept? You get the x-intercept by ignoring the y. 4x equal to 3000. 4x equal to 3000. 2x 1005. 1x 750. That's how I get the x-intercept. Then the next equation is the cost. The cost must be more than 1000 ringgit. So you must make sure that here is ringgit, here ringgit, and here also ringgit. The unit must be consistent. If this one is in cent, 4 cent or 40 cent, 50 cent like that, you have to change to ringgit to make it consistent with the 100 here. If you don't do like that, the whole question is wrong. You have to be very careful, you know. If you don't, if the here ringgit, here ringgit. If here cent, ringgit, then you have to change. This one you change to ringgit. But in this case, they didn't trick you lah. They give you everything in ringgit, no? So very safe lah. But just in case they want to trick you, they give you here cent, 40 cent, 50 cent, 1000 ringgit. Then you have to be careful. You have to change everything to ringgit. So here very easy lah, everything in ringgit. Okay, and change it to the y equal to mx plus c. Gradient negative 4 over 5. Y-intercept 200. Y-intercept you get directly from the equation. It's the x-intercept that you cannot. So if you want to find intercept, you have to cancel this thing. 4x 1000. X is 250. That's how you get the x-intercept. Okay, next one. Oh, the next one is, they say, the number of roses is y or y, must not exceed, sorry, must exceed. So must exceed means the number of hibiscus is x, no? Hibiscus x. So y exceed x at most means less than. less than 200. So y more than this minus the x must be less than 200. So y minus x must be less than 200. They say at most 200. At most 200 means less than 200. Exceed means y minus x. More than this x by how many? So you want to find y more than x by how many, then you have to use y minus x. So that's how I get this y minus x less than 200. Next one, we change it to the gradient form. Gradient is positive 101, y-intercept is 200, x-intercept negative 200. Okay, how to draw the graph? We continue.